There's a lot of thought that would have to go behind them picking it. But maybe.
Yeah, I think the other options are like your Ember Spirit type heroes mid. I think having just general active mid hero and something that can still lane okay against the bat. We've seen Ember do decent against bat, so wouldn't mind that as well.
Is there anything else that stands out for you guys that these lineups are missing? Or are you kind of liking the all-roundedness of them?
And right now I really like EG's lineup. They have like team fight, they have pick off, they have a lot of damage. Like this is a really good looking draft to me. Aster.
Already rating it better than last game?
I am. Honestly, I think it's really good. And they have overall last pick of the draft, so like this is looking very strong for them.
It's looking up and up for EG right now.
I think last game we were just like, we didn't want to ruin the mood too much for the viewers, but like when that TB and Timbersaw came out, we we're just like, oh, that's a really good pick. Oh god. Yeah, EG could do this, right? But
there's still hope for them.
The cool thing is, I don't think Aster's draft is in a terrible place. It just feels like right now some of these heroes are not being really addressed. Like Batrider has a very free game. He can really take over. Nature's Prophet's been answered a bit with this Dark Sierra Spirit. At least there's heroes that can pressure and threaten to kill the Nature's Prophet. But it does feel like, I think EG at least has put themselves in a really good position.
Yeah, like right now I look at Aster's lineup, I see the Spirit, the Dark Seer. What I do like about that is that Nature's Prophet is going to be threatened on the side lanes. Like the vision game from EG is going to be like super important, so they know where they're playing, because Nature's wants to TP bot. You can easily just get rolled on by this Spirit, especially when he gets the talent, gets like the extra rolling distance. It's like so easy to catch him. Like his life will be threatened a lot, and Aster might just play this pick-off game because they lack team fight. Like Spirit gives you a bit of it, and so does Darkseer, obviously, but like do they have like there's so much good disengage with like the Wyvern Curse. I think their team fight does become a little bit difficult.
And the only catches are Spirit right now. Like that's where I feel like they almost need that Spirit Storm type hero you mentioned, because otherwise like you're all in on this Earth Spirit finding kills around the map. Otherwise no one else is starting a fight.
Is there a last pick that could fill in that hole that they're lacking for that pickoff? Or that initiation, finding that stun?
They're banning carries. I guess they're expecting maybe a Razor mid or...
No, I think they're expecting Razor off lane and the Earth Spirit mid.
Earth Spirit, okay.
Yeah, because like Ori can play. I'm not sure what they want to do. Oh, right, you're right. You're so right. What the hell? I don't know.
Yeah, I think... Because... I think they're just...
Dazzle mid, guys.
I mean, this is an off-lane Darkseer, okay?
Alchemists can go mid. We've seen Alch mid too, like just push out the wave, Acid Spirit down.
You're right. Oh, here's the Chinese Spectre we talked about.
Hell yeah.
This region likes the hero. They had it like 13 picks or something in Tour 3. The build is like the Amanta and the Scotty Ags. They go Ags, they like that, but not like as a rush, which we used to see on the hero.
Okay.
So do you rate Spec in the hands of a Chinese team? Because I know when we've seen it played in Eastern Europe and SEA in the past, it's just very... No, but you like it for the Chinese teams?
I mean, they seem comfortable with it. So yeah, I like fully believe in their ability to play it for sure. And definitely more than any other region.
Yeah, well, like in the last pick for EG, so now we see both of these lineups fully completed. Where are you sitting with it? How do you think it's going to play out?
Still like an EG, I think.
Yeah?
The Lycan pick just really... Again, it comes down to can they execute this playstyle like this. They tried it last game, and I think they ran into the Timbersaw wall. This game, who's that wall? Who's going to defend these towers? Like, Darkseer doesn't do what Timber does. He can't really put his body on the line there. He's just going to get picked off, lassoed, rolled on by a tusk. So I think EG's set themselves up to really have a successful, like, basically push draft here.
Yeah, like theorizing it myself, I imagine they will have to just pull lanes really hard to give Darkseer as much XP as possible. When they get like level 2, 3 on the Ion Shell, they need to send this Earth Spirit to just make space, do things, like kill as many heroes as you can to slow down EG.
All right, well, it sounds like EG has a pretty big fighting chance in this game number 2 against Aster. So let's head on over to Sunspan and Jenkins.
Thank you very much. Game number 2. EG, Aster, Sunspan with Jenkins.
It's really echoing.
We have. That's true. I was not expecting. You guys can't hear that because obviously there's no crowd yet until the playoffs. But the arena, it's looking nice. I'm gonna go sit in every seat beforehand so that when you guys sit in those seats yourselves, you can say there was a fat mess in this before me, and you can tell that every time. But back to the important thing, which is this game. Jenkins.
Hopefully this one is not as a fat mess as the last one.
I don't think it will be. I actually agree with the panel completely because I've seen them execute this strat with Nature's Prophet, Batrider, and Lycan. And I know it's against NA teams, all right? I know we're a bit of a meme, but The shellackings were enormous. They were Gabins
There
on
were-
several occasions with these three
The
here.
lowest tier was Gaben. It was mostly
Yes.
high-tier Gabens into the top hat levels, considering Umbrella tier, which is territory that has not yet been explored.
That is an unthinkable. That's a legend. I don't know if it's actually
I
real.
shouldn't mention it.
We added it to the list, but I'm not sure if it will ever exist.
It may
It's
not.
one of those unreachable goals.
It's like dark matter. You know it's out there, but maybe we'll never know.
Yes, that is a very apt analogy. I really appreciate you being here. Can you tell us more about your dreams?
Why are we not in the game? Oh, it's paused. I see. I was seeing that. You could just see its computers are that way. You can see it's paused. I'm sitting here struggling. I'm like, what?
We're not struggling. This is normal conversation.
That is
All right, so getting back to the game, EG versus Aster, game 1 was not remotely close. Aster just looked like on a different level.
Yep.
I know I'm a homer here. I believe EG are on the same level as a lot of these
You're
top
like
echelon
Homer
teams.
Simpson.
Sure.
Duh.
Homer Simpson is the most lovable character in all of
Yeah,
TV.
But he's fat. So
What are you trying to say?
nothing. I'm just saying he's a fat guy. You're a fat guy. There's a lot of correlations there.
All right, Jenkins.
You like your Duff beer?
No, actually I don't.
He doesn't like.
I'm not an alcohol guy.
No.
Boy, this is really going off the rails. I'm trying to reel you back into
I'm
the
not
cast.
the one getting off topic here. All right, the cast.
I was talking about
let's
EG
talk about the game.
Aster, and you brought up Homer Simpson.
Yeah, well, because you said Homer. Don't mention.
Okay,
If
you
you
could have said.
If you say, oh, it's Team Aster, something Peter Griffin, it's like, oh, here we go, Family Guy. Here we go down this.
That's a normal.
This
That's
line
a
of-
normal saying in America. You really Peter Griffin that.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
is he a fat?
Just the fat.
You're a big fat guy. Yeah. They just
Apparently, there's a lot of ways to say you're fat, right?
in America.
Yeah, of course. We need as many as
We had
possible.
to invent new ones.
That's right. I mean, being fat in Dota, though, is a good thing because it means you're farmed.
It does. It does.
Who will be farmed in this game? That's my
Who
segue.
will be fat in this game?
Yes. Who will be
Who's
morbidly
playing what?
obese in
Who's
this
playing
game?
what? I can't see who's playing what.
You know what? You can walk over.
could walk
I'll allow
over
you to
and
walk
check.
over.
Okay.
You guys can see me all alone.
Let me check.
There we go. Yeah, looks like
It is. It's Nightfall on Lycan. So it's gonna be
Nightfall on
Arteezy,
Lycan. Yes.
Nature's
Oh,
Prophet.
that's expected. That's how they've always done it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he is a kind of a carry anyway, so
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't change much. Whoever wants to play
But
the hero.
basically, the name of the game for EG is push and push hard.
I think they can. I
Push
do.
like Peter Griffin would push
the
a
chicken.
sub sandwich in his face.
No. The chicken off of a train. You know the chicken he always.
Yeah,
has.
that's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Because it's he
thing,
doesn't he doesn't really eat in the show. Like you don't see. He's just a fat guy. You don't see him eating that much. Name a time you've seen Peter Griffin eating.
Wow, that is actually blows my mind.
Name a time you've seen Homer Simpson eating. He drinks.
No,
Duff.
he eats a lot.
He
No.
drinks Duff.
He
Does
eats
he
a
eat a
lot.
lot? Oh, he does. He does the whole sub.
Yeah, he.
You were thinking of Homer Simpson.
Anyway, back to the game
Back to the
again.
game,
You are really unraveling here, live in front of millions of people.
That's right.
Over the course of time, people will look back on this VOD, and eventually it will reach millions of people. Hello, 2032.
That's it.
That's
You're
in 10
done.
years.
You're done. I thought you were gonna keep going.
Now, so back
to
again.
the game. Let's go.
Back to the game.
Yeah.
Do Aster have the lineup, which you can look on the little monitor there?
Yeah.
Do they have the lineup to try to contest this massive push that is going to come?
Honestly,
from EG?
no, I feel like this is a really easy bat game. Like Bat versus Razor, you usually pick Bat to hard counter Razor, and Aster has chosen, as we're both just staring off camera. It looks so funny.
I see the reconnect. I have good
Yeah.
eyesight with the glasses.
No,
I believe a reconnection is there, so you guys don't have to put up with this too much longer.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. Continue your thought, please.
Where
So
was-
Bat Rider's good.
Bat Ride is very good. I think it's a great bat game. I think he should dumpster Razor
Okay.
with early travels. You know, like Bat Rider's not this blink initiator guy anymore.
All right, I'm going to have to take this off. This is it's just getting a little hot.
I can grab it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Just put it over there. Yep. Oh, that's good. All right. All right. Sorry, you were saying something
Why
really
are you
important.
always wearing this?
What? I just have a lot of sun shirts. You have a problem with that?
No, there's nothing. There's good.
Just because I have passion for
those are
something that
good,
isn't Dota?
Good colors, actually. I think it's the
Thank
same
you.
colors as the event. Am I wrong about that? Isn't it purple and?
Their colors are more towards the Lakers.
Oh, this is Lakers, or is that Suns? Oh, that's a Sun.
All right. Can we
I don't know
remove
sports.
Jenkins from
I
the
don't know
cast?
sports.
Can we remove you?
No.
You just said the Lakers and the Suns.
Listen, if we're talking hockey, you know, I
Yes.
realize I'm wearing the Cowboys. thing. The Cowboys even like whatever
No.
sport that is?
Of course.
That's not good.
Cowboys love basketball for some reason.
Nobody's ever said that sentence before in history. I think that's
why people are going to
that's
look
the
back on
first
this
time.
VOD in 10 years, and it's going to get millions of views because of that thought right there.
Can we get back to the game?
Okay, so back to the game. EG versus Aster. We're in a very awkward pause stage right now.
Are they still paused?
And it was at the very beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's right.
I actually enjoy these moments quite a bit because we can kind of talk about whatever we want because we've already talked about the draft. We've already talked about every
we
possibility.
haven't. We actually haven't.
Well, I've tried to talk about the draft, but you refuse to let the conversation go down that road.
And then you blame me as if you're the catalyst in this.
That's not true.
You're like the thing that splits the hydrogen atom that creates the bomb. And then you're like, oh, but the hydrogen atom's the one that exploded.
Okay,
You know?
so when I say,
It's
is
BS.
Batrider good this game, and you talk about Homer Simpson, that's me. That's my
Yes,
fault.
You know where you're going with that. You're pushing me in a direction that we can't come back
So it's
from.
just like a very subtle thought. You're talking about telepathy now. I'm putting thoughts in your mind?
Did you know?
Oh, boy.
Did you know that they had people memorize certain words, and then when they're in deep NREM sleep, NREM sleep, also known as, they buzzed their heads with electricity to mimic the same pattern of electricity, and they were 200% better at memorizing those words. So you talk about telepathy. It's in the cards.
You think we're going to get there in the future?
That's real science, by the way. Look it up. That's not.
Maybe
not
that's the
hocus
reason this
pocus.
VOD will get millions of views in 10 years is because you just broke open that.
I did.
Because you made that up, I'm sure.
That's right.
But it's probably true because
And
in the future, anything's possible.
it is. It is. And
Except for going faster than the speed of light, apparently.
And sleep is an epidemic in America.
Yes.
Look it up. That's also true. Of course, you sleep enough for all of us.
I hibernate every night for 12 hours.
Tell the audience how long you sleep.
I sleep for 12 hours, and I feel very refreshed.
And I'm telling him he has sleep apnea. If he's sleeping for 12 hours a night,
I can't
surely.
sleep. I can't sleep with a machine on my face, though. So it's
It's
just
not
going to
the
happen.
whole machine doesn't go on there. Plenty of people have sleep apnea. It's just a mask. You've been wearing one all COVID.
I've known
and you
people
haven't.
that have had it, and it's very uncomfortable. I've tried it one night, actually. I've test run it. Not comfortable.
Because you were trying to wear the actual machine on your face. You're like, this doesn't feel good.
It's like a VR machine. It's just not
Mask is on the
comfortable.
ground. You're trying the machine.
You know, when we get to the point where it's like wireless and the Google glasses, you know?
Yeah.
Are you into that?
I was ignoring you. Do you want to grab the chairs? Here.
No, I'm fine.
You're good?
I got my
Okay.
jacket's off. This is fine now.
Let me see if I can sit down. If I can go on here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can like really lift
This
it
is
up.
going to be a really awkward segment as I talk down to you.
Jeez,
but
I'm really balding. Look at that. Good lord.
you got a little bald spot there. Yeah. I want to shave that head at some point.
That's entropy right there.
Okay. See, now you look like my son. Really disappointed son.
Papa,
I'm actually very disappointed in you.
can I eat?
I've been waiting for Jenkins to get a haircut for how long have I known you?
You keep saying to get a haircut.
I've known him for I think 8 years, but I only remember 3 of them because you just didn't exist in my life.
I remember
before
you.
that point. You remember me.
Yeah, actually.
Very memorable,
I very
apparently.
much looked up to you as somewhat of a role model, as I am right now.
You're physically looking up to me.
Yeah, and just
It's the
very
difference.
disappointed by a role model consistently ignoring your existence. It almost felt like I was being denied existence in a way
Right.
because you're the only person that I cared that would acknowledge me over my own father,
Wow.
over my mother,
Wow.
Susan, my mother Susan.
What about your dog?
What about her?
Well, you listing off family members. Surely the dog is part of the family.
She doesn't think about me.
All right, let me ask you a question that's related to Dota.
Okay. Still pause, by the way.
Your favorite
I'm
hero,
gonna stand up again.
not named Pudge.
My favorite hero, not
Yes. I actually don't know the answer to this.
You
and I
don't?
feel like I know you like the back of my
Okay.
foot.
I can give you a hint. It's in this game.
All right, let's remember what's in this game here. Production really got sick of
Yep.
seeing.
It's in the game. I stood up again.
Let's see what we got here. Oh God, if you say it's Nature's Prophet. Of
Yep,
course.
that's right.
Yeah, I should have known.
That's
that one.
right.
Yeah, ever since they added that shard, you have been the most obnoxious Nature's Prophet player on the face of the earth.
It is so good. Did you know that you can solo Roshan at 15 minutes with the shard? You can have level 1.
How long does it take?
It takes like a minute to 2 minutes, depending on what.
1 to 2 minutes.
But your Nature's Prophet, so you're split pushing all the lanes. You TP in there globally. Like, what are they going to do? Look at Roche every 2 minutes? That's actually not that much to ask.
So why don't they do that in pro games? If it's so good.
Some have. Some have. I think a lot of
Arkosh doesn't count as pro games.
that's well, now that they're relegated, definitely not.
Yes.
Wait,
did you guys get relegated?
we did get relegated.
Are you relegated at a Div 2?
That's right.
What? I actually didn't know that. I thought you won the tiebreaker.
We had a stand-in for the last 3 series.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that, but I figured you won.
There
'cause
was
it's
a
pretty impossible
account
not to win at that.
banning situation that happens, and
Oh, yeah.
multi-account.
Yeah,
So,
makes sense.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, it's the satanic rituals and whatnot.
We are so done with those like joke accounts. It has caused so many problems at this point. I'm getting kicked out of lobbies.
Everybody knows who's on the
Here.
roster. It doesn't
I
even
know,
matter.
I know.
Yeah, if you guys missed
wasn't
it,
even that-
last game, Jenkins had to use my computer, so I cast the whole game without seeing anything myself other than the production feed.
I was on
because
Gremlo.
Jenkins was on the Gremlo account, and nobody knew who Gremlo was because it's not even a Div 2 player.
You want to know why?
Div 3.
Because I had the Gremlo account. Now it's tied to my phone,
Yeah.
and I have this old 10-year-old phone that my main account is on because I had to have 2 of them for the multiple Steam guards.
Wow, that's incredible.
So
And your life must be so difficult.
it's like Batman and Bruce Wayne, you know,
Yeah, that's a terrible
except
analogy.
much sexier.
I think I would put you as the Scarecrow kind of guy.
Oh, I like that character.
It's the worst character in the movies, at least.
Oh, well. In
Very
the,
scary to look at.
in the show,
The
he's
cartoon?
No, not the cartoon. The live action.
There's a live action show?
Never seen it?
No.
Penguin's a great, fantastic character in that show. You'd like him.
I do
That's
like
ki-
eating penguins.
Penguin's kind of up your alley. I
What do
feel
you think
like.
they taste like?
The penguins?
Yeah.
You know, penguins and polar bears have never met each other.
Yeah, they're on opposite
They're
poles.
different. They're on different poles. So,
I'm sure they've met in zoos.
I mean, I feel like what do penguins even eat? What is there to eat up there?
Well,
Or
snow.
are they down? Are they up or down?
They go into the water and they get fish.
Oh, they're probably like watermelon. They taste like water because they're just eating ice.
It's just very cold fish, so it probably has no taste to it.
salt like salmon.
Anyway, back to the Dota 2.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so what do you think about It's production telling us we can throw it away. We do not want to throw
We
it to
will
a
not
break,
be throwing
actually.
to a
I
break.
refuse.
This will be a hijacking.
Yes,
This will
we
be a
will.
hijacking
We will
situation.
continue to just talk out of our ass for the foreseeable future here.
Yep.
But okay, I will talk a little bit about the teams.
Go ahead.
Okay. EG, obviously, I'm
Wait,
much more familiar
can you
with.
do like an impromptu like we say things kind of intro? Because
No.
I feel like I'm the third kind of guest on that.
You've said that many
And I
times.
silently will sit there and chat, and sometimes the banning will happen and the muting.
Yeah, you're the silent guest.
But I will watch all the time. Which, by the way, great episode. Last it was
Sure. What did we talk about that episode?
Oh, geez, probably Phoenix Suns.
Nope. Actually, the one time we don't talk
wow,
about that. Yeah.
wow, probably in Bruges.
Incredible. No,
Movies that Cinderin doesn't watch because he doesn't watch movies.
it's
Not
fair.
programmed into his
that's
AI.
fair. Yeah. Not yet.
Oh.
I think that's going to be the next firmware update for him, that he starts watching television.
Oh,
because
OpenAI
It's
is
just really weird that he doesn't.
they're way too busy with that DALL-E, the AI generated images.
Oh, that thing's cool.
You've seen the Dota ones.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are legit.
They're
Those
good.
are very cool.
I can't seem to get mine to look like that.
So how does it work? You put in like a long description. Like the more detailed you are, the more like detailed the picture is. Or
Sometimes it feels like you put in more detail and it can just kind of grief the picture. It's like the right amount of detail. You know what?
like what is the right amount of detail? Like how many sentences we talking?
I'm just using a.
Explain it for people that don't even understand what we're
All
talking
right, it's basically this AI that it takes all of these Google image searches for some keywords that you put in, and it meshes it all together, and it does its best job at like drawing what you've asked for.
Okay.
And so you can search like.
But can you put like a literal essay?
I think so.
Like
Yeah.
10 pages?
Probably.
Okay.
I think it would just take a long time, and it would be so much information overload that it would just be this abstract art. Like Lacoste and I, we searched like dwarf carrying axe, dark looking into distance or something, and it was a dwarf with an axe, with a large axe. I said giant axe.
Okay.
The looking into the distance thing was a bit wrong. The face is a bit wrong. I think a lot of the time when you see the pictures, like artists have.
So how did they get those
doctored it
Dota
a
2
little
ones? Those were legit. Like, you
think-
look at the pictures and you're like, I actually know what hero that is.
I think those people have access to like the full thing. I'm using like a baby one you can get on the internet.
Do you pay for it?
No, but
So if you pay for it, is it like a subscription thing, or you
I
need
don't know
like
if-
a special access?
I don't know if you can pay for the actual thing. I know people have like beta. I think people have beta API keys. So maybe if you pay for it, you can get access to somebody's. You could do ones like the ones you see on the Dota Reddit. I would assume the ones on the Dota Reddit though are like they use it to generate the larger form of the image, and then there's a little bit of artist, changing of the picture because they're good. Like they're too good. If that's actually AI, fully, I'm terrified for the future. But I've been really nice about AI. Like other than just saying that, like I'm scared of them, but you know.
You say you're scared of them so that they treat you nicely in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
It's inevitable that AI does take over at some point.
That's correct. That is correct.
Like we as a civilization, as a human race, we will evolve into something that it's either going to be a hybrid human, like part machine, part human, or just robots are going to be taking us over at some point. Could be 1,000 years, could be 10,000 years. Who knows? Could be tomorrow.
You know what I think? I think that the universe has already happened, and all universes exist within a black hole of another universe, and all the black holes that we have are just...
So we're in a black hole.
Yeah, I think, yeah, exactly. In a larger universe. That's how the multiverse works. It's like it's a space within space thing. There's none of this space-time BS and multiverses, you know, there's no thing above space. It's
so
just
everything has happened.
That's right. Have you seen Everything Everywhere All
at Once? It's good.
It's very good.
S-tier movie.
It's exceptional.
One of the best movies ever
very
made,
good.
in my opinion. If that's not nominated for an Oscars, then I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I was pretty mind-blown.
Great movie. Great movie. Highly recommend.
You know what I liked about that movie? That you watch the trailer, and it looks good, but they don't show you stuff that I think other movies would have been baited to show you.
Other trailers will show you basically what happens from beginning to end.
Yes. Like the first...
I don't know how you'd even do that, though.
No spoiling, but the first big fight with the villain...
the villain's great.
That first fight...
So good.
Is I'm trying really hard not to spoil.
Yeah.
But like the way that fight plays out, it's like if you're a guy making a trailer and you see that fight, you're like, we got to put that in there. Like anybody's going to buy tickets to the movie after seeing that.
I don't know if that's true though, because if like out of context, it looks maybe weird. But then as it builds up,
that's true.
God tier.
That's true.
So I don't know if it would look good in a trailer. But either way, I'm happy that nothing got spoiled.
Yeah.
It was really, really good.
It was very unspoiled.
Definitely something worth multiple watches.
Definitely.
In the multiverse.
Yeah. Check that out.
All right. So let's segue a bit back to Dota.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a little... Let's try to do a ranking list. Okay?
They're playing tic-tac-toe, by the way. A bit of tic-tac-toe action.
Yeah. Very good. Can we do an AGS rank list of these 10 heroes?
In AGS? Okay.
Let's take the top 3.
Okay.
And order them 1, 2, 3.
Sure.
So, Nature's Prophet has the root thing.
Oh, they're trying
with the ult, right? Oh, that's unfortunate. I was really getting into the groove. As we're now on pause, and believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, you are here to watch Dota.
Yeah, there's a game.
And we will be talking about Dota.
That's right. Let's get to those.
And maybe we'll fit those AGS in later. Do a little separate podcast later, I think. As again, EG versus Aster. This is game number 2 of a 2-game series, so there will be no game 3. And Aster came out in that game number 1 and shellacked the crap out of EG to a degree I haven't seen them withstand since the last major, really.
Yep.
Last major, they got dumpster, but that was without Fly. So with Fly, it's been a long time since I've seen that.
Yeah, it has. And we will see in this game if this is just one of those cases of 2 very high-tier teams playing against each other and one just getting, out-drafted 70-30. Like you sometimes just see those drafts where it's just weighted very favorably in one way. It's like, oh, we got out-drafted guys, go again, and then game 2 looks a lot more competitive, or even goes the opposite way of shellacking. That happens.
I mean, the thing about, I know we're talking a lot about EG. Obviously, we're a lot more familiar with them because we cast a ton of them, but this lineup, I feel like, has almost no weaknesses. You have ridiculous push. You have great catch. You have good save with Wyvern. You have a lot of damage. I mean, even if you take into account the tag team with all the summons, it's crazy amounts of damage. And the tower push is I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's quite good. Like, it's probably like A tier.
Okay. I will say...
What's the downside with this lineup?
The downside is that I feel like if they do go late game against Spectre, it's very hard for them to win.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Back to the pot. No, we'll see.
3% packet loss. Okay, so
3% is not noticeable. How do they even know that?
I mean,
How do they even know?
When you're, there's
pro players are so picky.
Literally millions of dollars on the line, considering this will determine TI for a lot of teams.
Yeah,
so
that is true. And EG is not even close to going to TI, right?
Let's
look at their.
I think they're in.
Wait, are they in?
I think they're probably in.
There's no way.
Oh wait.
Oh, they're okay. They're
yeah. They've got 1,052. So I think they're likely to go.
So it's very likely.
It's likely, but I think they would still like to secure some points.
So a few extra points here or there doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
And then for Aster, what are they at?
Aster is
Just a couple slots lower.
a couple slots lower. They've got so EG has 1,052. Aster has 940 points, and I'm pretty sure I remember Knoxville saying, if you have 1,000, you're like very, very likely to go. So EG is quite likely to go. Aster is also.
That's good news for Fnatic, who are just above the 1,000 threshold.
Yes, it is.
Considering they have 3 stand-ins this tournament.
Apparently, they're doing very well with those stand-ins, though, which I suppose is not a surprise considering.
If you get that many stand-ins, it becomes another team entirely.
That would
it's
be
mostly TSM. now.
Yeah. But you have to consider Fnatic also has Sunbe here. So technically, it's a split. It is half TSM, half Fnatic.
50-50.
And I was on the plane with Sunbe and Brile actually, and Sunbe he's a endless bucket of information. Like the guy is just he can't turn it off. He's a fountain of ideas. And it's like, this is wrong. People are picking this hero. It's not that good. You can solve it using this. I'm not gonna reveal any of his little secrets. I wasn't supposed to be listening.
Oh, I thought he was talking to you.
No. I said, hey, Sunbe.
You're just eavesdropping.
I said, hey, Sunbe. He's like, ugh. Kept walking. So I started eavesdropping. I was like, well, if he's gonna ignore me, I'm just gonna make my way into this conversation.
It's not a very Canadian thing of you to do.
No, but I was in America. We were over the border.
Ah, okay. So you can become American at will.
Yeah, I did some barging. I barged.
Okay. And what did they say?
Oh, just all sorts of great information on how to beat every team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, how to improve.
So you're expecting them to do well?
I would expect them to do very well, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I did talk to Sunbe. We talked about BKB cooldowns.
Yeah.
We talked about the win rate discrepancy between Radiant and Dire. Dire now has a 60% win rate. And I think a big reason for that is you can now do the pulling action, the creep wave pulling action on the Dire side. You could not do that before. And also, with BKBs being on such a long damn cooldown, if you press one and you try to go split push a side lane, you just die. And so there's a lot more like hunting around the map that's happening. And because of that, you don't just take over the enemy jungle and then stay there forever. Nobody does that anymore. It is this constant map movement happening, which is why you see heroes like Batrider, Nature's Prophet comes back into the meta. Remember when people talked about split pushing being terrible? It's like, oh, split pushing is bad.
It was bad for a while.
Yeah, because of outposts, right? But people are moving around so fast now that Nature's Prophet being able to get in, push one wave, then get out is actually good again. So I think, I think people are just like running around the map literally fast. And by fast, that is, okay, I thought that was something on the map that was not PG.
Looks like a Jenkins mini-map.
Oh, actually, they're drawing that the wave is going to be cut at the 40-second mark.
Yeah.
I can actually see that.
That says
and then
50.
And then 50 seconds. 50 seconds. Okay.
Who's drawing that?
That is Earth Spirit.
Okay.
Which is Babuka, I think.
Boboka.
Yep. My boy.
Very nice. Nice to know their strats in advance as we are ready to go again. Hopefully the Kale goes away. And into the game we go again.
I see what he's drawing because Nightfall's solo up here. So they know he's going to use the Wolves to cut. It's a tri-lane bottom.
Okay. So tri-lane. Very interesting.
Yeah.
As Nightfall actually is going to TP out.
He's cutting with the Wolves.
He TPs to the tier 1 tower again, or the tier 2, I guess.
Yeah.
Get back into the lane. And we're going to see first blood from Arteezy thanks to this tri-lane. So it actually pays off pretty much immediately. And now they're going to disperse it with Crit going to the top lane to accompany Nightfall, who's gotten a little bit of... Well, I guess he hasn't really gotten XP yet. But
no, he's got the wave, though, with the Wolves.
Yep, he has. He's going to get poison touched as Siamese Cat is here to reapply it.
Yeah, that was nice. I mean, it's kind of cool that Aster knew about that, too. Unfortunately, they still get first blood anyway.
Oh, my. 5 sticky napalm stacks by Abed. And that Firefly on top of Ori doesn't look like it's going to result in a kill. But Ori taking heavy damage anyway. Has the stick right now. So, obviously a great counter to that Batrider hero. Talk to me about the Darkseer. In this entire 30-minute process that we've talked, we haven't brought up this hero, which is
that's right.
It's not a hero you see all too often. Obviously, the panel did talk about it, but since it's been so long, refresh our memories. You got the Ion Shell with the Earth Spirit combo, always very nice. But why Darkseer in this game.
You do get all the Lycan auras, so that's pretty nice when you get an illusion of him. It's not so good against Nature's Prophet. I mean, I guess he does build stat items, so it's okay. Not great against Batrider either.
From like a wall standpoint?
Yeah, from a wall standpoint, but it's, you know, normal punch is still very good as an ability. I think that's strong. And it's really good to, like, buff up a Razor to run in. I think this is going to be all around, like, just making Ori a beast.
I see. Okay. Yep, Surge on top of a Razor, pretty scary stuff. Already max move speed anyway, but... when do you get... When's that talent? Is that a 25 talent, the AoE Surge?
Yeah, it's a 25 talent, but most people take the other one. They go for the Refresher and the Parallel Wall.
Yeah, do you still go for, like, Aghanim Scepter on Darkseer to get the buff from the Iron Shell? It's crit.
Most people don't.
Get Siamese Cat stuck inside the shards for the time being.
He's trying to block.
The Wolves, yeah, they're going to outmaneuver Dazzle just a bit here. Nice block action, but the dagger going to force crit back entirely. And they do have some options for the Wolves here with the Shadow Wave. Obviously, Dazzle pretty adept at dealing with that if they're close to a wave.
You know, these days, it seems like there's so many more double melee off lanes than there are, like, melee plus range.
Yeah, it's great.
It's all wave cutting, because you can do it on both sides now. And it gives you access to... I mean, like, Tusk Lycan doesn't seem like that sick, but you want them both in the game. But in terms of the lane, it's like, eh. I mean, I guess you can, like, tag team with the Wolves, but they're not really getting the damage, so it's like, whatever. But in the game, you know, it's like they want both the Tusk and the Lycan, so just cut the wave, go even.
Live's going to pop the Arctic Burn here as Arteezy. Looking to deal some damage to Baboka, but will likely not result in a kill. And you can see Arteezy off to a pretty good start. Top the CS charts right now at 18 and 7, and the counterpart in Monet, 13 and 11. So a lot of denies for Monet. Obviously, they've been pulling a lot, and as we're seeing, Abed, he's gone real deep. Ori looks to be dead. The Fairy Fire not able to keep him alive, and a nice sidestep by Abed, keeping him outside the arms of Baboka. You can see Siamese Cat is pursuing as well. Abed looks to be dead, though. Baboka will get credit for that one. But a really nice solo kill from Abed.
Yeah, that's bad versus Razor. I mean, Razor, 1v1 solo, like, of course Razor's going to out-CS a Bat. Bat's damage is atrocious. He really needs levels, but the kill threat is always there until Razor gets BKB, and it takes a long time.
And Poison Touch in the top lane. Nightfall getting gone on.
No TP.
Dagger there as well. You can see the Desolate damage is really adding up. He is just slowed to a crawl. They're looking to give the last hit to Monet, and he will get it quite easily. And Baboka on the other side of the lane here looks to be taken out. This time by Arteezy, but that's one of those few times you see the punish of Lycan not going boots, which a lot of times you don't see it until like past the 30-minute mark.
Yeah.
They go the Helm of the Overlord and just relying on the move speed once that ult is up.
Yeah, it makes Dazzle incredible for killing Lycan in lane, and Spectre. They've got the double slow. And
do you think that he? I mean, is it too late to go for it? I know that sounds weird, but
boots?
Well, mainly because like, is he going to go into the jungle at some point?
Nah, you don't go boots. He's so close to his Helm Dom. You just farm that. I think if he dies a couple of times, whatever.
So after Helm Dom, do you go straight for Helm of the Overlord, or then do you go boots? Again, I've seen a lot of no boots.
I think Helm of the Overlord, and then maybe even drums instead of boots. You just skip boots entirely. Drums are nice because you buff all of your units.
Like, do you ever go boots?
On Lycan? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Interesting.
You're an offlaner. If you're dying, whatever, you know?
True. Flame Break actually pushes Ori away, so Abed not able to pursue. But we can see that Baboka is hiding in the trees to save his mid laner. He's going to roll out to try to take the rune, and he'll be successful, snapping that or snatching that haste rune from Fly's fingers.
This is a catapult wave. Looks like Abed wants to dive a bit here.
A lot of the creeps are already taken out, but he's going to fortify just a little bit longer. As Nightfall again getting gone on, and just absolutely slowed to a crawl. Arteezy getting gone on in the bot lane, though. As you see the vacuum back into the fray, it looks like Arteezy is going to die, along with Nightfall, who is just so freaking slow. Might as well be sheeped at this point. And 2 cores dead for EG.
Has been killed.
Rethinking those boots, Jenkins. I'm rethinking those boots.
I mean, he could TP too. It's just that he wants to be a lot. He wants the TP to be up for when he dies and respawns and comes back to his top lane.
Abed Setting off a nice flame break. Does have the lasso, but XXS looks mega dead right here with several sticky napalm stacks on top of him. Baboka looking for collateral onto Crit, but he's not going to find it. So a nice cleanup here from EG. Abed is the one doing extremely well. Obviously, Arteezy still top net worth despite that death. But really the story is, again, Nightfall dying twice in the laning stage, which, again, to reiterate, he has been, in my estimation, the most consistent player for the past, it's like since last TI when he wasn't even on the roster. He's been the most consistent player on their team.
I think both of these games have been a little weird for him. Not to make excuses for him, but he got kind of tri-lane for a bit in the previous game, and in this one he's been left alone against a dual lane as Lycan. He's just like pulling with wolves. So he's not getting spoon-fed as much as we usually see from EG.
Dire's middle tower
and the trade-off is that Abed is getting these rotations to mid, and Abed is huge. And Arteezy's doing pretty well too.
Yep. You can see Arteezy's made his way to the mid lane to help take out this tier 1 tower, but they're going to get backstabbed here from Aster. The poison touch to start things out. Baboka with the roll-in. Ori is here as well with the static link. Arteezy is mega dead. Obviously flying not even level 6 yet, so can't curse. We see the lasso from Abed trying to get some collateral kill here onto Ori. Gets Grave for the time being. He's actually doing a lot of damage, but he won't find the kill onto Abed. You can see another Urn Charge applied by Baboka. So 1-for-1 to start, but finally Baboka gets his revenge onto Abed. See if they can get one on Crit as well. So this is turning out really nicely for Aster overall as the snowball comes in, but just delays the inevitable. And again, a heal comes out on the Crit, but he is likely to fall nonetheless. So it ends up being a 2-for-1. Make it a 3-for-1. A beautiful roll from Baboka. Very nicely played from this Earth Spirit.
Baboka in that fight was doing something really cool where he was doing nothing. He was standing on the high ground and not rolling on Abed in the river, even though he could have hit him with a roll. But if Abed gets hit by the roll and then presses Flame Break, like maybe he can run away. He just sat up there, constantly throwing out Urn Charges onto Abed, and it meant that Abed had no like good choice to make, because no matter where he goes, Baboka's going to roll on him. It was just super nice positioning, because the rest of Baboka's team was on the other side. So it felt like if he just stayed up there and he didn't commit to rolling in, that Abed had nowhere to go.
And we'll see a smoke now from EG, who again, like we're exiting the laning stage. 2k deficit, something we're not used to seeing. Ori, again, a nice fat stack here, but here comes the snowball, flame break, fall. You can see the TP is coming in, but Nightfall with that ult available to him, end up taking out Ori again. That is going to be his, is that his third death? Yes, his third death of the game. So he is the one struggling for Aster, while EG, it's been Nightfall, but with that ult now, and the tomato creep, Sprout going to help them out. Looks like Siamese Cat's going to drop as well. And see if they can get the tier 1 tower in addition.
Yeah, he TP'd from top to try to help.
Oh my god, did the tomato get all those creeps? I think the tomato stole like all those creeps.
May have been his creep stealing. We just saw.
Very unfortunate, Abed. Getting some continual sticky napalm stacks. His Flash still not level 6. He's going to need that tome. He's dead. Abed looks to be mega dead, but there's a Cold Embrace. Crit trying to split some damage here. They're going to lose Abed, and Crit will likely fall next. Baboka does end up dropping, so it's a 2-for-1. Better than it could have been, although Ori ends up dying to Arteezy. He just keeps dying over and over. That's the 4th death for him. My goodness.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see that one, but he's in the top lane, which I thought was going to die anyway. Interesting.
So he has no Quelling Blade on Ori against Nature's Prophet, no phase boots. So it's very easy to sprout him in and body block him with the trees here, which I assume is what he just died to. A lot of the time you'll see Razors go for phase boots and pick up a Quelling, because especially against a carry Nature's Prophet. Oh, that's a lasso.
Lasso on position 1 Spectre, gets snowballed in, flame break back and punched into the air. Crit set everything up there as Abed obviously helped with the lasso, and Arteezy TP'd in to get some experience.
Bit of kill stealing action from the carry Natures. That's the job. It's part of the job description.
Yeah, very true.
That's the way she goes.
You see the replay here, but Abed just wrong place, wrong time. But there we see the top lane, so
he's just
Ori
stuck,
just completely surrounded.
Yeah.
Man.
Bro, that's when you sell the treads and get phase boots, honestly.
Yeah.
That feels bad.
I mean, that's going to be something. I mean, do they need to get a Force Staff? Is that like the main?
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Main counter to this?
Yeah, you gotta get a Force Staff against Nature's Prophet. I mean, even against Tusk Shards, but once Nature's picks up the Sprout Leashes talent,
yeah,
you need phase boots quelling, but that's 2 slots. Like, that sucks, especially on a ranged hero.
Or just get a battlefield.
Yeah, exactly.
Your quelling can upgrade to something.
That has happened before. It has happened.
Well, not on a range here.
No, but you need battlefield plus phase boots.
But with the flame break, can't quite find the distance. Using a spectral dagger, attempting to TP out, but the vacuum will cancel it. So Aster again going to find the kill onto Abed. Looks like Monet gets credit for that one. Crit continually getting charged on with this urn as Baboka finishes him off. So a 2-for-0. Aster is just all over the place. And I feel like, not to put anything on Ori here, but outside the Ori kills, this has felt like an Aster dumpster game.
It has,
but
yeah.
Ori has kept this very even for
He's
EG.
keeping EG in the game. Yeah, he definitely is. Baboka is weighing it in the other direction, though. I mean, he's involved in 11 of the 13 kills that Aster has. And this is Earth Spirit. It's not like he's Zeus, so these numbers are inflated. Like, the guy's legit setting everything up. It's just...
I mean, the real interesting thing interesting thing about this is that Ori is still top net worth on his team and second in the game. How is that even possible with how many deaths he has? That is crazy. They've been stacking for him. He's been plasma fueling these down consistently, but you'd think the deaths would mean a little bit more. And we'll have to talk about Spectre's build here in just a moment as Abed flame break. Ori gets off the illusion rune, I believe, but he's still going to find the real one with the lasso, and Nightfall's in the area as well in that Lycan form. Looking to finish off Ori, but he's got a big static link. He's going to get Surge and Grave, so he is more than fine. Abed on the cliff, and he is dead. So EG completely punished for this as Crit getting chased down now by Ori with all that massive damage that he accumulated in this fight. Fly's TP canceled, so Aster coming out way on top in this fight. A 3-for-0.
And this isn't a game that EG is supposed to be running down towers and snowballing. Like, they are the team that's supposed to set the pace in this game. They're playing into Darkseer. This is a late game hero. They're playing into Spectre. This is a very late game hero. Ori's feeding. You know, he's the only guy that can set pace. But, like, Baboka is just playing out of his mind on this Earth Spirit. Even Monet showing up to the fights. He's getting active on Spectre. Oh,
Arteezy back wall. Wall does not connect, but creates enough space for them to know exactly where he wants to go. So he is brought to his knees as Ori gets credit for that. And I mean, you can see Arteezy does have a bit of distance on the rest of the pack in terms of just the farm, but that's kind of what Nature's Prophet should be. It's almost like an alchemist to a degree, where you should be farming better than everybody.
Yeah, you click somewhere, you go there. Like, you can farm literally anything at any point.
And what about the Spectre build? Because Sheep was talking about how some of these teams like to go Manta into, I think, what was the second item? Because Ags was third.
Scotty, I think?
So Manta, Scotty, and then Ags. Do you like that build this game?
I think it's fine. I think the generic Spectre build is good. The Ags is like, it's a really good item, but if you're showing up on somebody with nothing other than an Ags, what's the point in you being there? It just doesn't do anything. It's like Santa Claus coming down the chimney without gifts, you know? What's the point of him being in your house? That's a bit creepy if he's not bringing in gifts.
That sounds more like an intruder than anything.
That is a home invasion.
Yeah, I think so.
So I like it.
Although he is jolly, so maybe he's good for conversation.
That's right. That's right. Right before you die.
Abed's getting static linked. Ori doesn't get a really long one here. You see the Ice Shards blocking him off completely from the rest of his team. He pops the BKB, but the right clicks are pretty fearsome coming from Nightfall. They're going to turn their sights on to the Siamese cat instead. He graves himself. And is that actually going to be enough to live? He's getting blocked by his own creeps, and Arteezy has to end the pursuit. Now Abed getting rolled in and kicked back into the fray. Ori with a nice plasma field. There's a cold embrace to try to save Abed for the time being, but there's the big curse, a huge vacuum into essentially nothing, though. Walrus Punch comes down. They've already lost Baboka along with Siamese Cat, so it's a 2-for-0, and XXS falls to Abed as well. And Abed somehow staying alive throughout all of this. They have lost Arteezy, though, as Crit and company looking to potentially reset. A nice sidestep there as Baboka flies off the map. Abed continuing to pursue, but Baboka getting decent distance now. And Crit has to be careful. He's extremely low on HP. So they lose Arteezy, but they get essentially everybody outside of the Spectre.
Supports on both sides, carrying this game pretty hard. Wyvern looked really strong in that fight with the saves. Tusk kiting quite a lot. Abed, he's even gone for the support build, which we have seen this from him a lot recently, going for the Tranquil Boots in Drum of Endurance. Makes him very tanky, super active early. Means that he's less of like some crazy farming split pushing hero, but he's very powerful.
Oh, we're gonna have another fight, man. This is a big brawling game for sure. As a huge punch in the air as Fly gets credit for the kill onto Baboka. Arteezy, he's the one actually segregated from his team a little bit here. Cold Embrace is gonna save him for the time being, but he's getting static linked. And you can see Ori, he has to be careful though. He's very low HP as Knifeless just continue to right click it, but there's the Grave along with the BKB. Can he get the distance? The Snowball is coming in from the outside. Not going to connect. His crit now puts himself in a bit of a precarious spot. But it looks like EG, now that they've lost Arteezy, don't want to fight any longer. So another fight where it feels like this is so back and forth. This is a really entertaining game.
It's back and forth, and it's not just like the support's dying in either side. Like, the cores are dying.
Yeah. Oh, Ori getting gone on. You see Nightfall with that ult. The Dragon is doing a lot of damage. There's the Grave, though. And you can see Siamese Cat doing a great job this game, but it's not going to save Ori this time around. And in fact, he will get out with that casual TP. So not able to clean up the Dazzle, but again, the core kill is what they came for. And you can just see this combo from Nightfall. Being able to ult and just have the Dragon and all his creeps just go max speed, kind of crazy. And now into the Roche Pit EG goes.
I would normally beg the question, is Ori even a core now that he's died this much? But he's still incredibly farmed somehow. Through all of this, he's still farming insanely well. Or maybe nobody's farming well in this game. Everybody's just fighting. Maybe that is
true. That's a good point. I'd be interested to see like what a normal Nature's Prophet net worth would be at this.
Yeah.
It might be higher.
Because
right.
Arteezy's been dying as well. Fly.
Yeah, he's getting kicked back, and he looks to be mega dead. The rest of his team not anywhere close. Only 30-second downtime though.
Top tower is under attack.
But we can see that it's a very even game. Obviously, EG now have the Aegis on their side. We'll see if Arteezy and company can use it to gain a little bit more map control. There's still 3 outer towers to go through.
How do you feel about this? I know you've got an opinion on this. We've been watching NADBC for a long time, since day one. Abed doing this Bat Rider, no boots of travel.
Boots of Bearing?
Boots of Bearing.
Hell yeah!
He loves this.
That's great.
You like it?
I mean, I don't know if I like it, but I love it at the same time.
All right, that's approval, I guess. I don't know. I'm very confused.
The recipe is really expensive.
It is.
So I feel like, yeah, going for like a blink or something in between, or even, I mean, boots of travel are pretty normal in this hero.
They're pretty normal. Everybody else does it.
So you don't get slowed from Plasma Field, Poison Touch as well. Spectral Dagger,
Earth Spirit Kick.
Yeah, but it's only like they nerfed it, so I think it's 2 seconds if I'm not mistaken of just not being able to be slowed. So it's all about timing.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm very curious.
He does this every game though, almost every game.
Does he do? I don't remember him doing this in the DPC.
He did. He did.
I must not have been casting or paying attention, or both.
That is.
Probably was casting and not paying attention.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Bottle to haste too. That's like the best hero to get a haste root on in Dota is Bat Rider.
That's nice. As you can see, Nightfall still working on the Assault Cuirass. Still no boots. But he does have the win lace, which is very important. You see the Dota Plus win probability, 83%. Dota Plus does love Spectre. Not sure how accurate that... It doesn't feel like 80-20. Momentum does feel slightly EG, but their lineup is not as good late.
I don't think Dota Plus favors Bat Rider. Like, you go late game on this guy, and you get the 25 talent for the sticky napalm on your W. You get the 20 talent that gives you 2 charges of the W. It's legit. If you lasso somebody with Refresher, it's like 10,000 damage in a single combo. It's insane. But I do think Spectre late game is something to behold.
Yep.
It is. There's not much.
If you had to choose a carry late game that's just fully farmed.
What timing? Because it's 60 minutes and 80 minutes are actually different. Because at 80 minutes, I want a Rapier carry. I don't want Spectre.
Okay, let's say a normal late game, so 60 minutes.
60 minutes.
40 to 60 minutes.
A Spectre makes the game very easy because you press R and you see everything.
Yeah. Is he the best, do you think?
Probably not the best. What's better?
Medusa's up there.
Medusa's up there.
Terrorblade.
Gyro's actually quite up there because of
Faceless Void. I mean, the problem with Faceless Void, he's kind of relying on his ult.
Yeah, he pauses time and just kills anything in the chrono.
And if you have 6-stack items, you're gonna kill everything.
You're gonna kill anybody, even a Spectre, because you can have items to deal with. That's the thing with Dota, is that
it's not clear cut. It's not black and white.
yeah, it's such a nice game because there's items to deal with anything.
For the jump, he's gonna get the lasso. This is gonna be onto Baboka to start things off. Arteezy jumps in as well. Nightfall gets credit for it. Look at all these summons that EG has to their disposal.
That's a great jump. I think they need to give Baboka that respect this game. A lot of the time jumping at Earth Spirit feels like, you know, you're going on the guy that like wants to initiate anyway.
This looks like the Jenkins special here. Sorry, Gremlo special here.
Right, that's a different person. That's a classic.
He's very good at getting his treants killed repeatedly.
It's true.
Doing about 100 damage to the tower.
Worth it. Hashtag worth. Arteezy's one of the few carry Nature's Prophets that I see that values split pushing as much as the offlane Nature's Prophets. He does a lot of really cool creep dragging stuff, where he'll drag one creep wave to another and then ult and TP there and summon 2 big trees and kill it. Like, he does some cool stuff.
Now the AC is up for Nightfall, and Arteezy, I think he's going Mjolnir, right? So 300 away from finishing that.
Keep in mind with that AC, whenever the wall gets dropped, you just get a Lycan illusion with all of his auras. So
true.
It can go both ways. So they're gonna get a Vlad's and an AC aura when XXS.
I don't care. I just hit the creeps.
Drops that wall.
Yeah.
It is harder to hit on a Lycan than other heroes though, considering the haste to move speed. That would.
Yeah. So the Darkseer did end up going Ag, so Ion Shell will have 2 charges and give a little bit of HP. Always a nice pickup for him. And I would expect if this game goes mega late after the blink, he's gonna go like Refresher or like, I don't know. Do you want to go Shiva's this game? Maybe. Shiva's is decent.
Shiva's is pretty good. I mean, against all the summons.
But I feel like maybe Refresher's not worth it considering you don't have a great illusion. Like the Lycan is good. It's not like you're getting a Terrorblade.
Yeah, no, there's not great illusion targets. You definitely go for some other build. Blink. Sheep is really good this game. Catch Abed out on the side lanes, who is walking onto a sentry. He was very close to one.
Yeah, we're going to see the roll in. Up with the counter initiation from Crit, gets off a nice snowball, so Nightfall will likely survive here. Going to get rolled on again, does Crit, so he's going to be the sacrifice for EG, as you hear the repeated haunt, but it's really just the Aghanim Scepter, I believe, from Spectre. Nope, it's not. That was a real haunt.
Nope.
Okay. So he is going Scotty. He's not,
Dire's middle
is
tower
he not
is
finished
under
with it?
attack.
I think it's coming on the courier.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
So
got it.
Scotty finished for Monet.
So he just haunted without the Scotty, and now he has the Scotty.
Yeah.
This is a nice timing for EG whenever Crit respawns. And you see Crit pinging, Earth Spirit is missing. Once again, I really like that they're putting value on Baboka this game. He's been carrying all of the team fights.
Well, who better to recognize the most important player to take out than the Earth Spirit player himself in Crit, right?
Yeah.
Abed. Wow, that's a flaming pile of shit on that cliff. That was a lot. Gracious. That cosmetic is crazy.
Yeah. What do they call it when you leave the poo bag at somebody's door that's on fire?
There must be a name for it. I'm not sure.
There is a name.
You have experience for that as well.
Yeah. Don't remember the name.
Yeah. Just a national pastime in America, of course.
Yep. Oh, double smoke.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Double click there. Miscommunication. EG invading Aster's jungle, but we can see that there's nobody there, so we'll see if they end up getting some wards off. They will. Looking for a pick off.
That's a deep ward from that.
Dire's bottom tower is under
That is a
attack.
good ward for the Bat Rider on your team.
Absolutely. And Crit. I was hoping he was going to be building Aghanim Scepter because that would have been. I feel like it's a good game for it potentially. Not good against Spectre, but
Every other hero, it's nice.
Dire's top tower is under
BKB
attack.
on Baboka. Oh, doggy. All right. So Earth Spirit not going to be so easy to take out, but there he does get off the BKB, but the lasso obviously goes through it. He's taking a lot of damage. A huge back wall on the entirety of EG. We'll see how much damage this does in the end, as Arteezy is kind of ignoring it for now. And they're going to be able to find Baboka despite having that BKB. Crit looks to be relatively dead, but he's going to get cold embrace for the time being. Ori gets off the static link on RTZ, attempting to TP out. He'll be successful. He's back home. Fly and Nightfall look to be just fine as well. As Crit actually doing a ton of damage to Ori. Flame Break keeping him quite low, but the Grave ends up saving him for the time being as well. Abed blinks in. He really wants this kill onto Ori. Apparently 5 deaths isn't enough. A nice vacuum though. Monet, he's also quite low. Abed really wants to finish somebody off. Flame Break. The Manta ends up taking off that debuff, so some way, somehow, the Razor and Spectre survive. And it ends up just being a 1-for-1.
Dude, these are the most beautiful vacuums from XXS.
That was dirty.
It's insane, these vacuums. But there's just nothing to follow it up.
They don't have a real wombo combo.
They don't. I mean, the Earth Spirit, it used to be a wombo combo when the kick's stunned. But now you've got the roll. You're only going to hit that on one target. It's not... The vacuum into kick slow is not that impressive. The best thing they probably have is the Dazzle Shard. Poison Touch.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, they got all the illusions.
On the roll in, but not going to end up hitting Abed here. They scanned out just ahead of that. Try to get some pickoffs here from Aster's perspective. And we can see the next Roche will be up in 30 seconds. As already 4 Boots of Bearing charges have been, actually probably more than that because they do refresh. Fly looks to be dead. Does get off another Cold Embrace. There's a roll in there, not really going to do much. So they will lose Fly, but he technically has buyback if he wanted to use it for like a Roche fight, but as we see, Roche still another 15 seconds, so let's see. Okay, the buyback comes through. Lasso is there, and they're going to be able to take out XSS to start this fight. And Ori absolutely getting shredded by Lycan. And the Sprout actually keeping him alive a little bit with that Grave. He's going to TP back to base. It looks like the Dazzle drops instead, so it's a 2-for-0 in favor of EG. Monet gets glimmered. And I believe the Roche Pit is what EG has their sights on now, and that has the Aegis and the Shard.
Monet actually picked up an Invis-Rune, which is very
was it Invis?
Very lucky, very lucky.
Figured it was a glimmer.
Because I think otherwise, probably EG chases there, and he was like very, very out of position based on how that fight went. This does mean I do think EG kills this quick enough. Yeah, Aster, they're not even interested in contesting this.
All right, who gets the Shard? Arteezy already has his.
That is.
I'm gonna say Bat Rider.
Nightfall took his.
Okay, so Nightfall, that's the extra wolf in the random lane pushing.
Yes. Yeah.
It adds up.
It's good.
It's not like great.
If you can
It's
show
something.
up to a tower that like has 2 wolves in the lane already, it is actually pretty significant tower damage because it cripples towers now.
You know, I know that he's not a core and that you always give a shard to the core, but I actually think this game, the best choice was Fly. He's been getting off a lot of cold embraces, and just having a Splinter Blast come out from that, like, they've always surrounded them. I feel like that is super value this game, like, in theory.
The cooldown reduction on the cold embrace, too, is definitely impactful. It gives it pretty solid uptime. And it's 1200 range, too, by the way, on the cold.
And I know this is something they take into account, like, he wants to be low net worth. So adding 1400, sometimes you don't want that because you expect to die.
You want to die and then buy back, yeah. Which is not just like a passing thought for teams of this caliber. At this point in Dota, it's pretty well known since the OG winning TI days. Like that's how they won the first TI that they won. Was dying, having a guy buy back, and so everybody's very cognizant of it these days.
So 4 minutes with the Aegis for EG. As they've mounted a bit of a lead now, so they look totally different. Obviously, this lineup we've talked about, they've had a lot of success with in the past, so kind of a comfort style, if you want to call it that. I think Fly usually would play Dazzle in this scenario, but obviously Wyvern is very similar in nature with the save and push. Much better team fight.
Both teams have some solid backliners that need to be caught here. Although, EG's not really been focusing on Dazzle at all. Siamese Cat has been getting away scot-free, but Boka's been the focus for them.
Yep, that is true. They did deward that deep ward, of course. It was pretty obvious that's how they got their initiation off, so doing that again for EG is going to be quite difficult. As I say that, he gets destroyed. Big back wall, though. Everybody inside these illusions, but the curse to try to counteract it. XSS is getting extremely low. He's going to get graved up. see Fly getting low as well. It's going to be a 1 for 2 to start things out. Arteezy dies, but that's just the Aegis. Nightfall trying to reset, has his Triceratops at his ready. Monet looks like he's going to get dropped. A double kill for Nightfall. All right, he's got the spider legs, does Ori, so that's one way to get out of these Sprout leashes. But another god-tier back wall, but nothing still come out on top.
Just nothing.
Dire's
And
top
with
tower is
Baboka
under
being
attack.
dead, the fights just don't look the same for Aster. He's kind of their
Dire's
only
top
stunning
tower
guy.
has fallen.
Yeah, that's true.
He's the only dude
I
that
mean, give credit to EG for targeting him constantly. We're going to see another vacuum here. XXS. Looks like he'll live. Arteezy
Dire's
really
top
pressuring
tower
though.
is under attack.
see the back wall.
Yeah, Ori, okay. Static link on the Nightfall. Looks like he's going to... Oh, that was a long TP. It's actually going to cost him. So Plasma Field finishes him off. So Aster able to actually find a pickoff despite having the number disadvantage.
Where did he TP to? That was,
I don't know.
was that a mid TP? He might have TP'd mid trying to be greedy.
Or an outpost, maybe. I mean, it could have been a misclick as well.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Arteezy, by the way, went for the 5 Treant Summon talent, which I love that people are doing this now. It feels like the attack speed. You're already building a lot of attack speed items,
Dire's
and the hero
middle
also has
barracks
the
are under
highest
attack.
agility gain in the game for a non-agi hero. Nature's Prophet stats are just insane. As of course,
He's a good body. Yeah.
Dire's
the
top barracks are
Vac,
under
is it a
attack.
5-man?
Oh,
It was another 5-man.
yeah.
It was that's the second
Dire's
5-man
top
Vac
barracks.
wall of this game, and then they lose the fight.
Yeah, they've lost. Maybe you should get less than 5 heroes and you win the fight. Have to find
I don't know if you're XXS. How do you look at this game and be like, oh, here's what I should have done differently?
I should have
It's
gotten
like-
different teammates for this.
Yeah, I don't know what else you can... Like,
Well,
it's
I
playing
think
perfectly.
Part of it is the synergy, right? Obviously, there is like Baboka is the one getting gone on, so you don't have that kick.
You
Like
don't.
that is a pretty good combo if you can set it up perfectly.
It's not that good.
It's okay.
It's more than
Based,
nothing.
based on what they have at their disposal,
more than
it might
nothing,
be their
yeah.
best.
Yeah.
Okay, Plasma Field is okay.
Yeah.
But there's not like anything big.
Vacuum into plasma field. That's so stuffed.
Hey, if you get it right on the edge, that's a lot of damage.
That's right. That's
Extra
right.
slow on top of the slow from the vacuum or from the wall.
Yeah.
So
Does he have a Shivas yet?
I'm really struggling to find the combos.
No,
here.
he's going for a Lotus as well.
We were so excited for the Darkseer pick, and I mean, it's showing that
It's
it's good,
exciting,
but it's
yeah.
not. It doesn't synergize necessarily. As we're going to see a fight on the other side here now, focusing again on Baboka. He's going to get saved though. Nightfall continuing to try to right-click him. He's going to get the bash, but he's not going to continue on. Baboka will be able to roll away, and he actually dies to Abed's flame break, I believe, as Arteezy pops the BKB, continue to right-click inside this wall, kind of ignoring it for the most part. As Ori looking to finish somebody off on the sideline. They're only going to lose Abed. He's going to buy back into the game along with Arteezy. Will he buy back? Is the question. Likely not going to happen because Roshan is not going to be up anytime soon. We'll see how much Aster can actually get out of this fight. Win, other than a tier 1 mid.
And now that Monet has the Skull Basher, Arteezy's really afraid to just BKB TP, which is what he's been doing when the fights have looked bad for him prior. So he just has to sit there and man fight in that fight, and he lost.
He has 0 bearing, boots of bearing charges.
He's been
I've never seen it at 0.
he's been using them off
Wait,
cooldown, man.
What's the refresh time?
Is it every
Radiant's top tower is
3
under
minutes?
attack.
Oh, it's 3. Okay, that's way longer than
It's
I thought.
pretty bad, honestly.
Wow.
It's not as much as you'd think.
Wow. What if there was a bug in the game where it continued the cooldown on the pause? You just pause on purpose to get the boots of bearing with
He
full
could have
charge.
had like 50 charges this game with the pause time.
Yeah, that's right. If only he could get that pre-level 1
Yeah, that'd be good.
pre-game pause there.
It like builds up in the shop like Smoke of Deceit charges.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Are scanned.
Gaben's Nectar.
Man,
Doesn't get better than that.
net worth very even. EG. I mean, I think they got the range racks in the top lane at some point. Crit gonna get gone on here. Nice initiation from Aster. And they're gonna take out Fly as well, which is their main save. And Nightfall getting pushed out of the triangle. He's gonna have to pop his ult. Looks like he's fine. Gonna try to turn his sights onto Baboka, but he pops the BKB and rolls away.
Somehow Baboka is making the roll look like it's an ability that hits multiple units.
Right, like a burrow.
Yeah, like that setup on the 2 supports, I mean, those are the 2 save heroes, and they were right on top of each other. It doesn't get more perfect than that for a jump. And Earth Spirit's not the easiest hero to jump with these days. I feel like this is the lowest tier of the, like, roaming
Radiant's
4
middle
positions.
tower is
It's
under
like
attack.
Tusk is better, Marcy's better.
Well, Marcy's also better than most heroes in the game.
Yeah.
in general.
I'm just saying she's the best. She's the best roaming 4 hero, and then it's Tusk.
Yeah.
Earth Spirit. There's one more that I'm forgetting.
I'm sure chat will help you out at some
Well,
point.
but Earth Spirit's just not that. It's not that hot of a hero. Only the like real specialists like Baboka or Crit will opt to play the hero.
Yeah, imagine when that gets buffed because nobody else is playing it, and how good these two will be playing it themselves.
Yeah, that was
pretty absurd.
The Jerax effect as well.
Yeah, true. I actually missed the mid lane Earth Spirit, like the Weehaw Earth Spirit.
The Gunner special.
Maybe not. Okay, more Weehaw.
Okay, yeah.
Historically, at least for the wins.
He plays everything mid.
That's true. That is why we love him. All right, full team smoke from EG. Got the Triceratops ready to go. Nightfall has had the Basher for a while. What is his next item, though? Is it going to be an Abyssal? Indeed, it will be. As we're going to see the Lasso initiation. This time it's going to be on the Darkseer, but he gets off the vacuum, but no wall to follow quite yet. A big flame break as Arteezy kind of stuck inside the wall. Has to pop his BKB as Monet continuing to focus him down. Arteezy's dead. No buyback available. Double kill for Ori as EG are falling apart in this fight. They did buy back on the fly. They've lost their most important hero in Arteezy's Nature's Prophet, and we can see Roche is up in 35 seconds, so that gives them another 35 seconds with no Arteezy available to try and contest.
Yeah, they just didn't. They either didn't see the Darkseer Eon Disc, or they thought that they could kill him despite the Eon Disc. But clearly, XXS was not gonna die there. Like you can see that, after the fact. He is not a good jump if he has the Sion up. It is absolutely, but every time they jump Baboka, they win the fight. Every time they don't jump Baboka, they lose the fight.
Yeah.
And he's got a gem now on Baboka too, so you definitely want to get him.
Yep,
there
they're
it is.
scouting this out too. Roshan with the Refresher Shard. And for Ori, that is quite possibly maybe the best hero to get that on.
Yeah,
I mean, usually you want to see the Ags because it's permanent, but that is very nice.
3 BKBs, 3 ultis going at the same time, potentially 6 static link charges, depending on which talent might want for the attack speed, which I think is more reasonable.
He's still a bit away from finishing the Refresher, the actual Refresher Orb.
Yeah.
He's got the makeshift version now.
Yeah, basically for the next fight, he'll have the Refresher Shard. The nice thing about the Refresher Shard is it costs no mana.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty powerful.
You go into the fight, it's like, you can legit have no mana to cast anything after you use your Refresher, if it's a normal one. And you can't press like a 3rd Plasma Field or something like that.
So 10k lead for Aster pretty much out of nowhere. And we talked about this earlier in the game, that their lineup, once you get to the late stage, it's going to start tapering off a bit. I mean, they can still push, don't get me wrong. Oh my goodness. They get the roll on Fly just as he was about to finish his TP, and that is 70 seconds. No buyback. Just a position 5, but it's a pretty damn important one. I mean, these curses have been pretty stellar in this game.
I think Baboka just scouted him with the Gem of True Sight,
Yeah,
by the way, the active.
yeah.
That was cool.
You don't see that too often.
No. I thought maybe there's like some psychic headband action, or somebody has a telescope for the range on that, but he just, through the tree line, he's like, I'll check if somebody's here. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, we got another Eon Disc. This time it's for the guy they keep going for.
That's a big one.
Which is Baboka.
That's a big one. Because like you said, he's the guy. There's a DD there. The courier did not see it as it was going over, so.
Yeah, crit. Yeah. Baboka, very rare roll miss we see going on here. Nightfall getting chased. Ori is just as fast as a wolf, for God's sake. Has to apply the Abyssal Blade and run away. But Ori is going to continue on. Gets the Plasma Field off. They're going to see him in the trees. They're going to take him out. He actually kept up with the damn wolf, for God's sake. EG definitely on the back foot now as Aster. No damage applied, pretty much. They have the Aegis, they have the Cheese, they have the Refresher Shard, and now they can push, and they have a DD on top of all of this. As Ori looking like he wanted to bottle it, but...
On Siamese Cat.
Man, what fearsome dazzle we got here.
He's just like, we got this, guys. I'm just going to take the DD. Wow.
Spider Legs, I'm not going to lie, very fortuitous pickup in this game.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
For Sprout, especially.
And, yeah, on the hero that did not have anything to counter the Sprout. That needs to counter the Sprout. Obviously, Spectre doesn't
That's
care.
why he bought Treads. He died so many times. Like, I know the Spider Legs are going to drop. It's all good, bruh.
Yeah.
So Aster looking to take this second set of racks as Arteezy getting gone on. The curse comes through and it's going to save him for the time being. He gets off and looks like a satanic on him, but the Aeondis is going to proc, so not a lot of damage to follow up with. You see the wall? Ori taking a ton of damage. It looks like he might fall, but he's going to get some extra regen coming in as well from his satanic, and Crit's going to take a tumble as a result. Abed dies in his fountain to a spectral dagger. And Monet and company look primed and ready to take this 2-0 against EG.
Dude, Monet has a moon shard on Spectre.
Pretty good.
Like, that is how fat he is in this game. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to pick up a moon shard. I'm not going to die.
Yeah, now focusing on the tier 4 towers. EG with a last stand here, but they're going to go on top of Arteezy, and he's dead right off the bat. GG's called, and Aster, man, they look very good.
I got to say, Shandon, that was a pretty long game. It still didn't last as long as that pause.
Well, it was yeah, I was going to say the game seems long because of the pause at the beginning.
Yeah.
This was a 42 minutes, just above average. You know,
Yeah.
it's like 6 or 7 minutes, but Aster look extremely good, like to a point that, like, I feel like I was watching PSG LGD. Like,
Yeah.
they were crisp in pretty much everything they were doing.
It's great.
Other than Ori feeding at the beginning of the game.
That's
which
right.
Didn't
That's
matter
right.
because he was out farming everybody
He was
anyway.
still farming. He was still farming. It's good for the region. It's good for China because this apparently Aster gets a lot of shit in China.
Okay.
They get a lot of trouble because they're the team that performs extremely well over there, and then they don't perform on LAN. So finally, it's looking like and EG is a good team to beat too.
Yes.
Because EG historically has been like the China slaying team too. They're the team that does very well versus the Chinese
Except in the grand finals.
Except in the grand finals. That's right.
Yeah, where they win 2-0 and then they lose out.
We'll
right.
not
Anyway, we won't talk about that because we're in NA, so we got to keep it very positive. Let's go to the panel and see what they have to say about this 2-0 victory from Aster.
Thank you, whoa, I just got their names mixed up. Thank you, Sunsman and Jenkins. I'm absolutely thrown up because this panel is changed up. That's right, we have a whole new person joining us at the end over there. We just cast our eyes on this beautiful human. It slacks. Welcome to the dance.
Howdy. Great to be here. You know, we've howdied, but we never shook. So good to meet you, Miss Natty T. So good to be here for the Texas Major.
Excellent. I'm not going to ask these two anything. It's actually all going to be you, Slacks. This game, break it down.
Well, you know, a chicken might have wings, but that don't mean it can fly. I mean, you know, they have a saying over here in Texas, you can bring a horse to water, can't make him drink. Well, you can bring EG to a major, can't make him win, no matter how far ahead they are.
Holy
It was a
shit.
rough one to watch. You know, they bring the bacon, but they're lacking on the sizzle.
Oh my God. This is the best thing ever. That's the best analogy. I actually don't think we need to break it down any further, but we are going to because there was a lot going on between Aster and EG in this game. EG were looking great. They kind of did the things that you guys said they needed to do as a team. They held out in that early phase. The laning, the mid, the transitions were a lot better than game number one here, Sheep. I want you to break that one down for me for the side of EG.
Why, yes, as a non-Texas citizen, I'd like to break this down in an easy-to-digest way. There was some fantastic brawling happening this game. My God, they kept fighting and they kept fighting, and I was like, well, they'll stop fighting now. Nope, they kept fighting.
The Wild West, as some of them call it out here in Texas.
Yes.
The Wild, Wild West.
Well, you lay it down with the dogs, you're going to get up with some fleas.
What he said, yeah. And yeah, like, I mean, the EG were the one pressuring the most because it's a Spectre. You can't let Spectre get items. You gotta invade. They invaded her space. They put deep wards down. They wanted to not let her really reach her timings, and I think they played really well. They did just so much goddamn fighting, and it did finally slow down. 20
I think
minutes.
Slacks has some more to add.
I don't want him to talk
That one
anymore.
was
No,
all
I
over.
want him to talk.
I mean, that one was all over. It was like a pretzel in a pretzel
Pretzel.
fact. I messed that one up, but it was a pretty good game.
Wait, let's
I got it. I got more twists than a pretzel fact.
That's an absolute
Thank you
tongue
very much,
twister.
thank you.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
actually just, his notes throughout that whole game were actually just weird cowboy sayings that he could do with an accent. He didn't actually watch the game.
All right, now I did ask you not to share that, but
Oh, sorry, I forgot. You know, there was a lot of words exchanged. But after, let's look back, there was a specific fight that I want to bring up. It was, it happened in mid, and it was the fight that evened out the gold difference. It kind of brought Aster back in to this game, and I want to know why it was so different compared to every other team fight that we saw take place between EG and Aster.
Oh my god, my time is here. All right, so here's what happens, guys. Look at this Wyvern ult. Look at it. Do you see what it hasn't done? It hasn't disrupted the wall, which comes right in afterwards. I swear to God, this goddamn XSS Darkseer, he hit at least like 3 4 to 5 man vacuums, and every single time Wyvern ult just completely solved it. Like, if you ever looked at those amazing walls, to the right of it is someone getting Wyvern ult. The entire team is just stopped by this wall of ice, cannot get to the wall. You know, these stupid casters who have no eyes are saying,
I thought you were going to come out here with the crazy things.
they have no synergy.
This is myself for
They
this.
have no damage. No, it was the Wyvern. Fly was the MVP of EG this game, even though they lost.
Okay, all right. Well, God, you haven't really said too much, but I want to know what your take. Oh, you're good? You don't want to no crazy Texas Cowboys sayings? You want to nothing?
Like, I lived there 10 years. People don't really speak like this.
You know,
I will tell you, the Texas state flower is the bluebonnet.
Oh,
very
look at
pretty
that.
flower.
Now, Gods is a very smart man. This guy worked the Shanghai major. He knows when to shut up on a panel and just let people ruin their careers. I mean, the guy is smart. The guy knows how to do it.